Bryan Gaiser is an investment advisor representative of Advisory Alpha LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. All opinions expressed by Bryan Gaiser are solely his own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This recording is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Investment advisory and financial planning services offered through Advisory Alpha LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance, coaching, and educational services offered through Gaiser Financial Group. Gaiser Financial Group is a separate and unaffiliated entity of Advisory Alpha LLC. While tax and legal services may be discussed in the general course of financial and investment planning, Advisory Alpha does not provide tax or legal services. Please consult with your tax or legal professional prior to making decisions related to these issues. This material is not endorsed or approved by the Social Security Office or any other government agency. An annuity is a long-term financial product designed largely for asset accumulation and retirement needs. All guarantees are backed by the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. All opinions expressed by externally cited sources are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. The case studies presented reflects the specific circumstances of one client and should not be considered a guarantee that another client or potential client may experience the same or certain level of results. This is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as investment recommendations or solicitation. Names have been changed to protect the anonymity of clients and are not testimonials in nature. Learn, grow, and take charge of your retirement. This is the Wealth Thru Wisdom podcast with financial advisor Bryan Gaiser, founder of Gaiser Financial Group.
I don't know if I've ever asked you this question, Bryan. Do you ever play the lottery, even just for fun? You know, just get a scratcher at the gas
Every
station?
now and then a scratch off or something, and every now and then, if it's $1 billion, what the heck?
Right, you got it. You
one
can't.
in a million. I mean, I'll spend $1 on something, or $2 or $3. I think it's $2 now.
They always say when it gets to the $1 billion mark and everybody starts playing it, they say your chances are even lower because now everybody's in it. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to win. I just want to be part. I'm just here for the fun. It's just fun.
Your chances are lower, but what are we talking about when we're talking? Let's make that relative. It's slim to none. And it just got slimmer. That's all.
That's it. It's just my thing about the lottery. It's it's like professional sports. It's just for fun. I'm not trying to get rich. If I win $100, I consider myself a winner that day. So speaking of lottery stories, last year, a 20-year-old Canadian woman won one of these win for life lotteries. You know, one of those things where you
have the option.
Yeah. And so the winning scratcher awards the prize, and you can choose when you have a win for life option. You can choose one of two ways. Radio host Shay Moore was talking about how this woman made the wrong decision and how she is going to take her winnings. Here's what Shay Moore says.
She had the choice between taking the lump sum or $1,000 a week for life. She chose the $1,000 a week. Now, it's going to take 19 years for $1,000 a week to amount to $1 million. So me, at this big age, I'm taking that $1 million lump because $52,000 a year means I'ma still have to work. I think I can make something shake with that lump.
I don't know, though, because I think you have to look at it from the perspective where people are, Bryan, is this woman that won, she was only 20 years old and she's got her whole life ahead of her. And maybe she has no idea about financial advice. And she's like, I'm just going to do the simple thing, $1,000 a week. But for somebody who's near retirement, when does the paycheck for life approach make more sense? If does it? I mean, in your opinion, we're here to ask for that.
You know, either way is a win. I think that's very important.
Fully agreed.
I think Canada doesn't charge taxes, but let's just assume they do on lottery winnings. Okay. I could be wrong on that. It really just boils down to this. What if she goes, look, I'm not disciplined. I get that. Say she gets 600 of the million, right, after taxes and early annuity, whatever the case may be. Because really what she's done is annuitize it. They say, we'll give you $52,000 a year at 20 years old for the rest of your life. What if she's saying, hey, I'm irresponsible with money. I get that 52. I blow it for the next 3 or 4 years. That 52 keeps coming. Maybe that's her logic.
That's right.
Which would be a very good logic.
That's right.
Or she says, look, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to act like I didn't win it. I'm going to go to my dad, my mother. I'm going to say, hey, look, help me with this. You link into this account with me only as a custodian, not as a owner, because that would create a taxable event potentially. I got to say it that way.
Got it.
I have a feeling it would, but potentially.
Okay.
And anyways, point being is, and you make sure I don't touch it and let's invest it, Dad, because you know what you're doing. You have money in the market, whatever the case may be, or you find a financial advisor and say, when I say find one, you might want to use Dad. You want to use someone highly recommended, especially if you don't know about it. Maybe she does know about it. But I doubt she would take that $1,000 a week if she knew how to invest.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So chances are, if you know you're going to invest, you know you're not going to blow it, taking that lump sum is going to be your best route. But if you think you're going to have a good potential blowing it, well, let's look at the numbers on that side. It's a high. Most people go broke within, 3.5 years after winning these lotteries?
Yep.
within 3.5 years.
It's
so
a very
she probably made the
success.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She probably, because all that money, well, if I just spend 50, it won't matter. Well, if I just spend 100, and before you know it, you've got nothing but debt. Everybody's your friend. So I think I'm not so certain she did make the worst decision, depending on her. If she could, in an ideal world, take the lump sum, but we're not in an ideal world. And you have total control of that money. You're 20 years old. You can blow it. And trust me, 500,000 doesn't come around too often in one lump sum.
Right.
You just think it's going to be there forever when you're used to, having an extra $1,000 or $500 at the end of the month. You get what I mean?
Yep.
Or you're living paycheck to paycheck, especially a paycheck to paycheck. Now you got an extra 52,000. Invest that and keep living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
If you invested 52,000 for 20 years and earned 6%, at the end you'd have $2 million. So at 40, she'd have $2 million. It's money she didn't have anyways. And just learn to earn more on your own. Only way you can use that money is for betterment of your education or whatever the case. But I think thinking about it from those standpoints is important. I just had a client that they sold property in another state that their mother just passed away and they got a nice chunk. They didn't want to spend one dime of it.
Okay.
Right. Now, granted, they're in their 50s and early 60s.
Okay.
So a little different thinking. Their savings were a little bit behind, in their opinion. Mm-hmm. Well, now all of a sudden it's not. It's over about $1 million. Boom, bam, there it is. So now they got about $1 million that they didn't have before, and they want that money. All they want is the fruit from that money, which is smart thinking. But you think like that when you're in your late 50s and go, okay, I'm not going to mess this up. So I helped them structure. They brought it in. We took care of it. We're investing relative to their risk level, all of those kinds of things. Not long ago, just had a couple come in, did the same thing. Felt like they hadn't saved enough, and all of a sudden didn't even know they were going to be in here. Didn't know that their parents had any funds like this. And dad passed away, and all of a sudden 1.2. And they're going, what? They're thinking, we'll sell the house. It might be 100,000. We'll split it with the other three. Well, the split was 1.2 each.
Wow. Wow.
And they were thinking, she thought maybe 100, 150 when something happens to her one parent that's left. Now, all of a sudden, I can retire early. Now, suddenly she doesn't want to retire early because now she has the control of her work. Work doesn't control her. She controls it.
Got it.
So it's a great way to go, look, that young lady's going to have $52,000. If she wanted to travel for a couple of years at 20 years old, she could do that, and that 52 is going to keep coming.
Yep.
If she took the lump sum, she may get talked into something stupid. Maybe she knows herself from that standpoint. And folks, 336-586-5861, chances are you probably won't win the lottery, but you might get a big chunk in inheritance. What do you do with that money? How would you handle that money? We would love to show you some ideas that might make a lot more sense to make that money last and make your retirement a whole lot more pleasant. Once again, 336-586-5861. You think it's going to be there forever when that big bump comes in life. You know what I mean, Heather? Mm-hmm. And it just isn't. It too can wither away, and you just got to be smart with it.
Right. Being smart, of course, is what Bryan wants to help you do. Be smart with your savings, with your money, no matter how you look at how you've come into it. You've gotten to this place of your life where you've got a big lump sum sitting in front of you one way or the other. And now you need that money to create income for you, create opportunity for you in your retirement years. 336-586-5861. Give us a call right now. Let's set a time on Bryan's calendar to begin the conversation about ways to make your money that you've worked so hard for, or that you've come into that maybe you were caught off guard by an inheritance like Bryan was just talking about.
You don't want to blow.
You don't want to blow it. You want to continue to be a responsible steward of the opportunity, the financial opportunities that you have. Bryan and his team here to help. 336-586-5861. Give us a call. Let's plan a time for you to meet with Bryan about these questions. Just a couple more minutes before we got to go to break. But I wanted to ask you about the flip side of this for somebody listening to you who knows they plan to leave $1 million to kids or grandkids, and they don't want them to blow it or to feel financial burden. What's the flip side of that? Is there ways to create in our estate and legacy planning? And of course, you're not an estate planning attorney, but you're a retirement planner. Right. You help people with that.
And give some ideas.
The money that they leave behind. Yes. Is there a way to help protect our loved ones so that they don't make financial mistakes in the planning process? Is that something you can help us with?
Or maybe you have that one child, love them to death, but
they don't make the right decisions. Yeah,
right.
We all been
and
there.
maybe you put a steward to them. here's your steward. You can write. You can have language written in. Hey, I want you to buy an annuity and pay this person X amount of dollars each year. You not saying to buy an annuity, but just saying
it's one option.
Annuitize it, and this they're going to have their $1,000 a month for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
In addition to whatever. Or $52,000 a year, $1,000 a week, I guess I should say. But whatever it may be, you definitely want to visit with an estate attorney if you got that one kid that, hey, he or she's going to blow it. They're good people, good hearts, but they're going to blow it. The other two I'm not worried about, or the other three I'm not worried about. They'll take care of their money. They know it's not going to be there forever. They got to grow that money. This one thinks, I'll get another inheritance someday. When mom and dad's gone, you probably won't. Mm-hmm. I'll win the lottery someday, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But yes, revocable living trust is something to look into, where you put someone else in control of the money and doles the money out to them. You could, or instructs them at a later age to purchase something that will pay them an ongoing payment for the rest of their life to help offset in the event they make a big mistake, or help them just make decisions with those funds properly. Because some people never grow up. You got 40-year-old, 10-year-olds, out there all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's just a reality. And it's the seed you plant. Folks, 336-586-5861. 336-586-5861. Love to sit down with you, get to know you. Who knows, we might be a fit. Give us a call, 336-586-5861.
Thanks for listening to the Wealth Thru Wisdom podcast. To learn more, visit geiserfinancial.com. Bryan Gaiser is an investment advisor representative of Advisory Alpha LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. All opinions expressed by Bryan Gaiser are solely his own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This recording is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Investment advisory and financial planning services offered through Advisory Alpha LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance, coaching, and educational services offered through Gaiser Financial Group. Gaiser Financial Group is a separate and unaffiliated entity of Advisory Alpha LLC. While tax and legal services may be discussed in the general course of financial and investment planning, Advisory Alpha does not provide tax or legal services. Please consult with your tax or legal professional prior to making decisions related to these issues. This material is not endorsed or approved by the Social Security Office or any other government agency. An annuity is a long-term financial product designed largely for asset accumulation and retirement needs. All guarantees are backed by the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. All opinions expressed by externally cited sources are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. The case studies presented reflects the specific circumstances of one client and should not be considered a guarantee that another client or potential client may experience the same or certain level of results. This is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as investment recommendations or solicitation. Names have been changed to protect the anonymity of clients and are not testimonials in nature.